Justin. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing lovely. I love your little guitars back there.
Thank you.
That's quite the collection.
Yeah, that's
So what?
This red one here. That is a Melisandre, like Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice.
That is. Well, this is so weird. I try to move like the opposite direction. That is Syl, like the hybrid from Species.
Mm-hmm.
That is Foxy Cleopatra, the gold one, and the black one. Oh, this is so awkward. Right. Right there. That's Eleanor. Yeah.
So Foxy Cleopatra, like gold member.
Yes, exactly. Because it's a beautiful gold top guitar, so why not?
I'm Foxy Cleopatra.
You got it.
I love that movie. They need to make a new Austin Powers.
Yeah.
They really do. Mike Myers hasn't done much lately.
No. Well, there's what is that new thing on Netflix that just came out recently? I haven't watched it yet, but I've been meaning to.
What is it?
I'm not sure. I saved it on my list on my watch list on Netflix, and I have since forgotten even what it's called.
That's a great way. You should check out the new thing on Netflix. I don't know what the hell it is or what it's called.
I don't know. I just know Mike Myers is in it.
Mike Myers was in the Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
Look at that. My music room is falling apart. Oops.
That happens.
It happens.
Did you get that custom made, or did you find that Justin's Guitar Lounge somewhere?
Oh, that's a sign that my in-laws had made for me for it was Christmas or birthday or something a few years ago. I don't remember which, but yeah.
So what's new in the world of Justin Sanford Neverwake?
Phew, Neverwake, Justin Sanford. Well, nothing really new for me. Same old bullshit, different day. Just working, trying to play as much as I can. As far as Neverwake goes, we've been working on new music. Lots of it. Always. We're always writing. Like, even if we're not in like writing mode to like start getting ready for an EP or whatever, we're always writing. But we have a bunch of songs in the process that we're feeling pretty good about. We're pretty excited about, and we are looking to release some new songs a little later in the year. I'm not sure at this point exactly yet if we're gonna just go like a single route and just release some singles, or if we're gonna do a full EP. I'm not sure about that yet. We've kind of talked about just going like the route of releasing some singles.
There's a lot of artists nowadays that are just releasing singles and music videos and not albums.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to a certain extent financially. It is so expensive to go and record like a full album's worth of music. It's so expensive. So what's that?
I saw somewhere that even Weird Al Yankovic said he's done with albums. He's just going to be releasing singles.
Wow. I mean, there you have it.
So that's the best route to go nowadays from what I've heard. So just going that route's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still as much of a fan as ever. I still get all fanboyed out over the bands that I love and stuff. So I love it when like the CD. I'm still a CD guy. I don't care. When the CD comes out, I can get that CD and open it up and look at the artwork and like, I love having all of that, so like from the fan perspective, it's awesome to still do like whole albums or even EPs, but from the band or the artist standpoint, singles is definitely makes sense,
Like I have your one CD that you sent me. It's like a book, and I thought that was cool when you do stuff like that with it. So like that's a cool thing too. But most bands nowadays, I noticed, release the music first and then the album.
Yeah, and there's they've been released like a whole bunch of singles, and then the album comes out.
So you guys recently did a show not too long ago, correct? with, if I'm not mistaken, it was with Vera Union, wasn't it? Or was that February?
No, we didn't play. Me and George, the bass player from Neverwake, we went and hung out with Vera Union at that show.
Okay.
'Cause that was the last tour we went on in the spring of 2019. We were out with them. So when we saw they were coming to town, you know, here to Pittsburgh, we, you know, hey, we got to go hang out with our Canadian brothers, you know. But that was it. We weren't playing, unfortunately.
They're a great band. I actually started listening to them thanks to you guys, because I saw you guys were doing shows with them there a while ago, and then you guys hung out with them.
Yeah.
So that's pretty freaking badass.
Yeah, I mean, we were all familiar with a few of their songs when the opportunity came up to go out on the road with them. We're like, wow, this is awesome. You know, these guys are pretty badass. And then, you know, we got to spend almost 6 weeks out on the road with them, you know, hanging out and playing together every night on stage. It was a lot of fun, and they're really good dudes. Really good guys, and a kick-ass band. You know, they go out and throw it down hard every night. They rock. They put on a good show.
Yeah, I'm glad shows are coming back, bro, because last time we talked, there was no shows. We were talking about Tiger King. Recently on the show, we reviewed the movie Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch. Have you seen that movie?
Halloween 3 season. I don't think that I have.
It's a very interesting movie, because I don't know how familiar you are with the Halloween series, but the way that John Carpenter originally wanted the series to be was release Halloween 1 about Michael Myers on Halloween. Halloween 2 is going to be a completely different story. Halloween 3 is going to be a completely different story. It's just Halloween movies.
Right.
Well, due to the popularity of Michael Myers, they were forced into a sequel. They killed Michael Myers, and then 3 was nothing to do with it.
Okay.
It was a critical failure at the time, but if you get a chance, watch it. It's on Tubi for free. It's about this guy that ends up getting killed at a hospital. I'm trying not to give away too much of a plot line. But
Sure.
This guy gets killed at a hospital, and his daughter's trying to find out why he got killed. And you find out like witchcraft and shit's all involved, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Now, I haven't seen it yet. What about the newest Halloween? I heard some not the most positive of remarks about the newest Halloween. I haven't seen it, though.
You mean Halloween Kills? The most recent one that has come out? Because Halloween Ends is coming out soon.
Yeah.
I saw Halloween Kills. I didn't mind it. But the Halloween series makes no sense to me, because they will kill off a character, and then they'll bring them back and not explain why they're still alive.
Yeah. It's just like, it's a totally different story, and you're supposed to forget what happened previously.
Exactly, because that's like Halloween 2 and 4. 4 is supposed to be a direct sequel to 2, but Dr. Loomis is still alive somehow. And it's like, what? But the new Halloween's good. There is one scene that you'll laugh at, though, if you pay really close attention. All these people are lined up to kill Michael Myers, and one of them's holding a fucking iron. Like you're gonna try to kill a nonstop creature, like somebody who can't die, with a fucking iron.
Right.
Or gardening tools. Let's try that too.
Have fun with that.
Have you heard about the new Scream that's coming out?
Mm-mm.
You know, you watch Scream, right?
Yeah, again, unfortunately, I still haven't seen the newest one of those that recently came out. I wanted to see it, just have it. You know what? Like, my wife and I, we love movies. Like, before we had our son, we used to go to the movies all the time. Like, sometimes we go like on a bargain night on Tuesday and on the weekend. That was like our thing. Like, we didn't go out to the bar and go partying, but like we go to the movies. That was our thing. But it's a little bit different now with our son. We can't just go out to whatever movie we want. You know, you can't take your 7-year-old to all the gory horror movies. So it's a little tricky to see them all nowadays. But
I got a movie to take your son to then.
Which one?
The new Lightyear movie.
You know what? He's in a summer camp program. They actually went to see it summer camp the other day.
Damn, dude, it's a great movie.
It really is. Good.
What a lot of people are hating about it though is there's a lesbian couple in it, and I'm like, why do you care? Like, like they don't kiss. You don't. It's not a sex scene. Like, it's just they're a lesbian couple. But the movie itself isn't about Toy Story, and that's what a lot of people don't like. What it is it's a movie within the movie. It's the Buzz Lightyear movie that the doll is based on.
Right.
And it's a great film. Like
I seen a thing from Tim Allen where he said, you know, the story's great, the movie's good, like he likes it. He doesn't have a problem with Chris Evans being Buzz Lightyear. He said it's all good. He said that his only thing is that he just wishes there was more of an actual like real connection between you know, Lightyear and the original, you know, Toy Story Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, that's understandable. But like the movie, even in the beginning, explains. It says in 1994, Andy received a Buzz Lightyear doll for his birthday. This is the movie this doll is based on. Like, it doesn't really. That's the only correlation between the two.
Sure.
And I read somewhere that Disney's working on a Sheriff Woody movie.
That's cool.
Which would be very interesting. It'd be great. Yeah. So what have you been watching lately? Since it isn't horror or any of that, or that Netflix series you don't know what it is.
Mike Myers. Well, I've been watching let me see. Of course, you know, season 4 of Stranger Things, and knocked that, well, the first half of it out. And then I pretty recently though that I finished that, so I didn't have long to wait for volume 2 to just come out yesterday. But I haven't started volume 2 yet because I'm like a little bit like OCD about like when I'm like mixing like series. It's like I can't do it. After I finished the first half of Stranger Things, I started the newest season of The Umbrella Academy, which is, what is that, season 3, I think. So like, I don't know, like 3/4 of the way through that, and now volume 2 of Stranger Things is out. I'm like, oh crap, I'm dying to watch volume 2, but like I can't stop this and go back to that. Like I can't mix them. I got to finish one before I go back to the other, and it's killing me a little bit. But
that's how I am, bro. Like, there's so many shows that people are telling me to watch that I'm so overwhelmed that I just don't watch any of them. Yeah. Because I want to watch I've been watching some Stranger Things, but I've only made it through season 1.
Oh, really?
Because like
season 1 is good, season 2 is good, season 3 is good, but 4, you know, I've talked to a lot of people that basically kind of said the same thing, that season 4 is the best. Like they've kicked it up a notch, like on every aspect. Like the, you know, the scary horror side of it is kicked up a bit. You know, some of the kill scenes are a little bit more like, wow. It's really, really good.
I'll have to check it out because I need to watch more Stranger Things because I do love what I've seen. It's just one of those things where it's like, I've got all this shit I got to watch.
Right. There's so much available nowadays. It's just, you know, all these different streaming networks have all their own series and movies, and they all have good stuff, you know.
You know what I find ironic though? We was like, hey, there's this new thing called Netflix that's cheaper than cable. Let's watch it. And then everybody makes their own streaming platforms, and it's about the same price as cable to have them all.
Right. Bastards.
Son of a bitch. Where's Blockbuster when you need them?
Yeah. I just saw the other day, the somehow they were still open this long. The last remaining video rental store in my hometown area. I'm from about 2 hours north of Pittsburgh, up in like Oil City. There was a movie rental store up there called Movie Stop, and they just announced recently that they're closing down, and it's like a kind of a big deal because they've been there forever, and like there's nothing else like that around. Of course, I mean, there aren't any video rental places anymore. It's wild to see, you know.
Unless you live in Oregon. There's actually one Blockbuster left in the United States.
Really?
Actually in the world.
Is that the one that you're supposedly like able to go and like rent for the night? Like you can stay there or something?
It's an Airbnb now, but it's also a Blockbuster.
That's rad.
It's cool as shit. Like you can go in, you can rent movies and shit. You can return movies that you still had from Blockbuster. They accept returns.
Wow.
And yeah, you can pick a VHS tape or whatever off the shelf, stay the night, watch it on a couch, and just sleep for the night.
That's cool.
I would love to go check it out.
Yeah.
It's there's a documentary about it called The Last Blockbuster. I think it's on Amazon. They actually went into detail about the fact that it wasn't Netflix that killed Blockbuster, even though a lot of people think it was.
Sure.
Blockbuster killed Blockbuster. Because this guy went to Blockbuster and told them, hey, there's this new thing coming out called streaming. You guys should really try it. And they laughed the guy out of the door, and that guy founded Netflix. And when that guy created Netflix, Blockbuster realized that's the future, so they started their own streaming platform. But due to the stock market crash, they lost everything.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the funds to create it because Netflix already had theirs created. Blockbuster didn't have the funds to finish, which sucks. But,
yeah.
But I bet you they're shooting themselves in the foot for that shit.
Oh, I bet.
Like, it's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So when can we expect new music? Do you know when it's coming, or?
No, I don't for sure. I don't. I can't say. We have several songs that are basically done. Maybe need some musically, like a couple of final, little mix adjustments or whatever. Just are ready for Johnny to put some vocals on. And we're doing all the recording ourselves now. Johnny has put a lot of time and effort into getting himself up to a standard of, the producer side of it. He's gotten really, really good at all of that, all the editing and the mixing, and he's done a great job with all that. And like I said, we've got several songs where musically they're about done. They're just ready for him to record some vocals on. I know, they're going good, but I do not have a timeline at the moment.
Just don't pull a toll on us and wait like 12 years for an album.
No, it won't be like that for sure.
What's up with bands doing that? Tool, Guns N' Roses, they wait 12 years for a new album. Like
I don't know. I couldn't imagine, being a musician in a band. I couldn't imagine waiting that long for any reason. Whatever reason it may be. Like, I don't know how, or I couldn't wait that long. I'd be like, all right, I'm sorry guys. If we're waiting 10 more years on this next Tool album, I'm gonna have to go and release some of my own shit or something, because like
what was crazy about Guns N' Roses was for 12 years they were touring music off the album that wasn't released.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're like, this is a song off for a new album. When's it coming out? I don't know. Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that shit. It's wild.
It's fucking crazy to me.
It is.
What do you think of Motley Crue finally coming back after signing that damn contract? You think they should have stayed retired?
Listen, I love Crue. I'm not going to try to say I don't. I love some of that old Crue stuff. I think they never should have signed a stupid ass contract saying they weren't going to tour together anymore, just so they can come back and be like, yeah, it's on that. We're going to tour again. I think it's like, I don't know, some sort of fabricated like drama or whatever. I don't know, but like
a weird gimmick.
It is. I mean, it's no secret. Everybody knows that poor Vince just doesn't sound the same anymore. I mean, from what I've heard in a few videos, the band still sounds good. So I mean, I don't have anything against them being out touring. I mean, I wouldn't go to the show and expect to hear, 1982 Vince Neil, because you're not going to get it, sadly. But I did hear a video recently where it was a newer video where he did sound better than he had, like, was it when he was touring with his solo band recently. Wow,
yeah, and he couldn't finish a show. Remember that?
It was rough sounding, but I did see a clip from a newer crew show where he did sound better, and I was like, okay, cool, that's good.
He looks like he's lost weight too, like he's taking care of himself.
It does look like. Well, doesn't he have I think he had like a personal trainer on the road with him to continue like whatever training he started, to try to get in shape. They're still working on it while on the road.
From my understanding, I could be mistaken, but from my understanding, the deal was the only way Motley Crue will go on tour is if Vince Neil takes it seriously.
Well, they should have. They should have done that. I mean, that's a good idea.
Because I was there for the final tour. He didn't seem like he was taking it that seriously. Like he just didn't seem to care.
Right.
But what I love about the Crue, let me ask you this: what is your favorite Crue album? Since you're a fan of the old school Crue.
Oh man,
you're gonna hate my answer.
I don't know if I can pick a. I don't know. I mean, I love all the early ones. Shout Out the Devil's good. Theater of Pain is good. Man. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I'm not sure.
My favorite Crue album is the 1994 self-titled album.
Hey, the one with John Corabi?
Corabi's the shit.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with it. That's a good album. It's really good.
Yeah, I went and saw Corabi a few years ago. It was before the pandemic. And he shocked everyone in the crowd because he's like, I haven't done this in a little bit, so let's try this. And he did Misunderstood off the self-titled album, and he also did what's the other one? Hooligan's Holiday.
Hooligan's Holiday is a good one.
I want to hear Vince Neil try to sing those.
Yeah. I mean, Corabi had a great voice, or maybe still does. I haven't heard him in a long time.
Well, you guys opened for him with the Daisies.
That's true. We did.
Did you get to hang out with him before the show or the band?
No, we did not get to hang out. I mean, we were in there while they were sound checking, and there were some things that made that show a show I'd kind of like to forget.
What happened?
No, it's all good. It wasn't Corabi or the Dead Daisies. They were all cool.
Didn't you guys have sound issues that day? Was that the show? Was that the show you guys had some issues? Because I know I went to one of your shows and you guys had a little bit of sound issues or something.
I don't think so. I think in that aspect it was a solid night. I think.
Okay. Because I get all my shows clustered together, so. But that was a great show from what I remember. I forget who else was on the bill. I know another local band was there.
Yeah, it was Dead Daisies and that other band.
Hookers and Blow, Dizzy Reed, and then the other band that was there was like a 80s style local band. I forget the name of them.
You know what? That might have been, was it Dying Breed?
Yes, it was Dying Breed.
Those guys are really good at what they do.
Yeah, that show in particular I remember because like I did get to meet Krabby and the gang. And if you get a chance to meet Krabby, do it. He's a fucking he's crazy. but he is a great person.
Well, I haven't met him, but I can attest to the crazy factor. The first time I ever seen him live goes back to, is that 2004?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was 2004. It was the Rock Never Stops tour. Me and my wife, who we were just dating at that point because we were like 18, we went to Erie to see the Rock Never Stops tour. It was Cinderella, Firehouse, Quiet Riot, and Rat. Yes. So it was that four. Cinderella, Firehouse, Quiet Riot, and Rat. And Robby was playing rhythm guitar for, oh my God, I'm trying to think of what band.
You said 2004 or 1984. What the fuck? With a lineup like that?
Oh, no. Yeah, I know what you mean, but it was definitely 2004. Christ, I don't look like I'm that old, do I?
No, I was saying.
He was playing guitar for, I think it was for Rat.
That tour should have been called the What Year Is It tour.
Yeah. But he came out on stage right before I think it was right before the whole band came out to actually start. It was like, the set changeover from the band before them. And he actually, he came out on stage right and walked across the stage and exited on stage left. And it was just nonchalant, acted like he, didn't care, didn't have a care in the world. Just walks out, walks across the stage, waves at everybody, and walks off. He had a shirt on and absolutely nothing on his bottom half. Just balls and Johnson just swaying all. I was like, wow, there's Robby's wiener right there. Yeah, it was wild.
By the way, you were correct. He did play for Rat. I just looked it up for you.
Okay, I thought that's what it was. Yeah.
He played for Rat until 2008.
Filling in for the great Robin Crosby.
Great fucking band. Fucking band.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Stephen Pearcy wasn't with them then. It was Jizzy Pearl. But it was still a great show.
Jizzy Pearl's a damn good singer, though.
Oh, yeah. Warren DeMartini, man, he's sick. Just a disgusting guitar player.
A lot of those older bands, though, even though they don't have this old lineups, they have great fucking musicians in them.
For sure.
That's
absolutely do.
That's I don't understand how Quiet Riot's still around, though, because their singer died, which was the founding member, and then their drummer recently died, who's another founding member. They have no founding members anymore. Rudy Sarzo just rejoined.
I feel like AJ passed away, the drummer, not too long after we played with him at the Hard Rock Cafe. What was that super group called he was playing with? It was him. It was AJ Pirro, Blaze Bailey on vocals. Man, I can't remember who was playing guitar and bass.
Hold on one second. You said a super group?
Oh my God, I can picture the guitar player. I think his name was Rick. What?
You said Blaze Bailey was singing?
Yeah.
I never heard of this super group, but I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, we opened for him down at the Hard Rock. Just right here at Hard Rock Cafe in Pittsburgh for anybody watching who may not know that. Rick. I think the guitar player's name was Rick Plester, maybe.
The bands that he's been in, I don't know what the supergroup is you're referring to. What year was this, you said?
Oh, man, it was, it's been a handful of years. I mean, obviously it was pre-2019. It was before then, so I don't remember.
The only thing I can find is Wolfsbane. They were around from 1984 to 1994, and then again 2010 to present. And then you have the Blaze Bailey band. He also is in a band called Absolva.
No.
Unless it was like a one-off band that he did.
Now I'm trying to look.
In 2016, he was in the band Trinity. It was a short-lived collaboration band. Blaze Bayley is such an underrated singer when it comes to Maiden, man.
Yeah.
Like, he got a lot of shit. If you go back and listen, those albums are fucking pristine.
Well, man, I don't remember. It was 3 years ago or 5 years ago, whenever this was that we played with him down at the Hard Rock. He was still killed it. His voice was great. He rocked the crowd like it was a Maiden crowd. Like he didn't care. It was awesome.
He's a bit of a crazy. He's not like crazy, but he's a bit of a nut sometimes. I've seen interviews with him.
Yeah, he seemed like good crazy. Like he was a little crazy. Yes.
Yeah, like John Crosby type crazy. I remember when
there's Crosby's wiener. Yeah.
I remember when you guys were opening for them. I don't know if you saw this or not, but when he first came out on stage, he ran out on stage and somebody had a camera. They were taking pictures. He grabbed the camera and stuck it in his crotch and hit the picture button. And then he continued with the set. The thing I love about him, if you ever get to see him solo, he tells jokes between his songs. And he tells stories and shit. Like he told the story about when he met Steven Tyler. Which, them two in a room together singing is a very interesting thought.
Yeah, I bet.
So what music have you been listening to lately? The same stuff, or is there any new artists that you're listening to?
I always stick to my bass stuff that I'm always into. But let me see. Like everybody else in heavy music, I've been digging on Spirit Box the last couple of years. That's really good stuff. Not that it's new, but I've been really into the last couple albums of Ice Nine Kills. I just love their the themed all the horror movie songs.
I love when they do that.
To mention, they're just musicianship. Those guys are excellent at what they do. Man, what do you think?
Ice Nine Kills, I really love the horror movie aspect of Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, I feel like the two albums that they've done like that now have just been excellent. Like very, very well executed, very well done.
So speaking of horror movies, I did discuss this earlier, but I didn't get to go too much into detail. The new Scream movie that's coming out. Mm-hmm. The last one is good. Watch it. Mm-hmm. The one coming out, I'm very iffy about because Neve Campbell's not in it. She quit. It doesn't take place in Woodsboro anymore. It actually takes place in Manhattan, New York. The same location Jason Takes Manhattan took place. Yeah, like Ghostface Takes Manhattan. What's next? Space? I've seen this before.
I've seen Jason X and it's not good.
It has good kills though.
Yeah.
But it's not a good movie. The only horror movie villain that I think could go in space and it work is Chucky. Like, that's the only one. By the way, he has a TV series now. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
No.
Watch it.
What's it on?
It's on Sci-Fi.
Oh, okay.
The cast is amazing. There is a new cast, but the original kid that played Andy is in it.
Oh, nice.
The voice of Chucky is Brad Dourif again. He's back. Jennifer Tilly's back. The original cast is pretty much back. And in the new season, they're teasing bringing back Glenn and Glenda, their daughter or son. Remember that from Seed of Chucky? What'd you think of Seed? Didn't like it.
It was a movie.
You know what's sad? I do enjoy that movie, but that was the last Chucky movie we ever got in theaters.
Yeah.
The rest of them were direct to streaming or direct to DVD.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. What'd you think of the, did you watch the remake with Mark Hamill?
No, I don't recall seeing Mark Hamill in a Chucky movie. No.
Yeah, they did a remake with Mark Hamill, and trust me, don't watch it. Mark Hamill deserves better. The movie, as a Child's Play fan, will piss you off.
Mm-hmm.
What it's about is not anything like the original. What it's about is it's about this disgruntled employee that changes the functionality of a good guy doll and turns it into a killer. So there's no longer that soul aspect. It's just a killer doll.
Well, that's weird.
And I'm like, what? Come on now. Like, you just ruined the whole Charles Lee Ray thing. You ruined all of it. Like, he's just killing to kill at this point. It's not worth it to me.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that sounds like no thanks.
But Mark Hamill did a good job, but Chucky kind of sounded like the Joker. Because you know Mark Hamill played the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of sounds like that, more so than Chucky.
Yeah, that's weird.
And it's like, I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. But yeah, Scream, the new Scream's going to be in Manhattan. Then I assume the one after that's going to be in space. And then the one after that's probably going to go to hell. And then we're going to have Ghostface versus Chucky. And then we're going to...
in space.
In space.
I just remember it was like the one moment from Jason X that always stuck with me. In space, the one kill where it's like the two young teenage girls that are like all silly and ditzy, and they're like, "Huh, we love premarital sex," and he just like slaughters them. Just always thought it was like the dumbest and most hilarious line like for them to have said.
My favorite kill in that movie, from what I remember, because it's been years since I've seen it again, is where he picks that kid up in the fucking where they're in the bag, the sleeping bag, and starts beating him off a tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or that one kill where he freezes that woman's face and smashes it off the counter.
Yep.
Like, that movie had great kills. It should have not taken place in space, though.
Yeah, I agreed 100%.
I have an idea for the end of Halloween Ends. I have a great idea. Towards the end, they remove Michael Myers' mask, and it's Mike Myers.
That could work. That'd be good.
Do I make you Randy, baby?
Yeah. That'd be good.
But where can we find you on social media before we keep digging into horror movies and stuff and get away from the music?
Me?
Yeah, where can we find you?
On social media.
Do we just look up Justin Sanford on all social media? Or are you the only one? There can only be one?
There can be only one. No, let me double check here.
I believe on Instagram it's Justin_Neverwake or NW.
Yeah, here, look.
There it is. Justin_NW or Justin.S_NW. There we go.
Yep.
I knew it was something like that.
Yep, there's that one. Just my name on Facebook, Justin Sanford. I started a music page too because I'm actually getting kind of close to the friend limit on Facebook. So I started a Justin Sanford Music that I'm going to like kind of work towards transitioning. Like any if I like post any guitar videos or whatever, I'm gonna like filter it from that one. I'm like gonna post it from there first. So there's that. There's the Instagram, the personal Facebook, and the Justin Sanford Music one. There's I just recently, well, it's not, I didn't recently join, but I just kind of started trying to do TikTok. I hate it. Like, I don't hate it, but I hate it. I don't know. I haven't only posted but like a couple of times on TikTok, but I am on there. Let me see. Does it?
Bro, there's no shame. I've got a TikTok.
I mean, it's the same thing on TikTok.
There's zero shame in that, bro. I got a TikTok.
Justin SNW.
Do
On TikTok.
you plan on making funny videos on TikTok or just sticking with music?
I would do funny. I mean funny and guitar.
So do you ever plan on doing anything solo, or do you want to stick with Neverwake? Because I know some artists like to do their own thing.
That's a good question. Neverwake is number one. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, for sure. That's number one. That's where, my heart is with what I want to do seriously, and what I want to keep pushing forward and take as far as possible. That being said, I am definitely into some other style of stuff that would never cut it as Neverwake material. If given the chance, if I was ever able to, I would love to do something like that. I'm really big into like blues and like Southern rock, so I would love to work on some material that would be kind of I guess like Blackstone Cherry for the easiest comparison, like Southern bluesy, still kind of heavy and rocking at times. I would love to do something like that if I ever had the time, and the chance. But
if you do that,
I don't have any plans for that yet. There's nothing lined up or really in the works. I mean, I've recorded a few riff ideas like, oh, well, this would be cool for that, but it will never work for Neverwake. So I've got a few of those like set aside, but nothing that's like seriously like underway or anything. But
if you was to do that, would you be the singer of the project, or will you stick to just playing guitar?
I think I would at least try it. Yeah, it was like pre-Neverwake, way back in the day, like my first couple of bands when I was a kid. I did singing. Well, I mean, I sang backup in Neverwake. And as far as like Neverwake is concerned, that is great. That's like, I'm happy doing some backups and a couple of harmonies here and there. That I love just playing guitar and doing that little bit of singing. But if I was ever to be able to do that, Southern rock bluesy kind of thing, I would definitely at least try to see how I felt doing the vocals. Yeah.
I would love to hear that, because I've heard you do the harmonies, but I've never heard you straight up sing before. So that'd be a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Because I love listening to Neverwake, but I'm like, I wonder what he would sound like actually singing. You are a Dimebag fan, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you watch the episode when we released a Dimebag unreleased song?
You know what? I forgot to. I knew that you did it. I knew that it was happening and that you did it, but then I forgot to get to it and check it out.
We are going to be releasing it on the Pink Sock channel.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for that. We are going to be, because I got permission from Dan McNew, the guy that gave it to us to play. He has it on his channel. I'm just going to release it on our channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great song. It was previously unreleased. It came out I think they wrote it in 94.
Oh, wow.
I believe is the year he said, with Al Ward, a friend of his.
That's awesome. So, yeah, I'll try to keep an eye out for it, but shoot me a reminder too.
I will.
I'd forget my wiener if it wasn't attached. Like I forget everything, dude. So seriously,
you're like, I don't know what that damn thing looked like. It's gone. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, shit, I lost it.
You're the only person I know that instead of saying I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached, you say I'd forget my dick if it wasn't attached.
Well, I'm a bit of a pervert. Just a little bit. So
you only touched me a little bit, but I liked it. It's all right. So are you guys planning on doing any like covers? I know a lot of bands do that. And you guys did Thriller and a bunch of other.
Thriller, that was a lot of fun. Thriller is a lot of fun. That story is funny too.
What made you guys choose Thriller of all songs?
I can go back through that story for you. So we had literally just wrapped up the recording, like in the studio recording of The entire Incinerate EP minus Thriller, which ended up being included on Incinerate. But we were at Innovation Studios working with Mike Ofka, plug, badass studio, badass guy. We wrapped up, like me and George and Marcus were back to work. Johnny works for himself, so I mean he was probably doing some work, but we're back to work. And actually Johnny had gone back to the studio and was doing some editing with Mike. And to backtrack though just a second, we had been like considering doing a remake. I like to say remake. Everybody says covers, because like the way we do it and the way I like to hear bands cover songs is to not just cover it. Like if you go out to a bar on a Saturday night and see like a bar band doing covers, I like to do remakes where you make it sound like a Neverwake song. You know what I mean? Or Disturbed makes Land of Confusion sound like Disturbed. You know what I mean?
And Sound of Silence.
Yeah. So
you're not a fan?
No. It's not my favorite. I won't lie, but they did a great job with it. We had been, trying to look at ideas, think of ones. We actually had some really cool progress we'd made on a Kickstart My Heart remake. And it was really cool what we had done, but then we saw live footage of Black Veil Brides playing Kickstart My Heart, and we're like, can't do it now. So we scrapped that, and it just went for a while where friends and fans were like, hey, you guys should do this song, or you should cover that song or remake that song. And finally it was Johnny's sister and George's now wife, Nicole, who was like, Johnny, you guys should do Thriller. And he's like, no, that's a terrible idea. And he's like, you know what? Just to show you how bad of an idea that is, he's like, I'm going to demo some of it out and show you that it's not going to sound good. So he started working on it, and he's like, shit, this is cool. So he demoed the song out, or part of the song or whatever. And now back up to where we were. We had just finished tracking Incinerate, and he's back in the studio with Mike doing some editing and stuff. And I guess the story is, he's sitting there with Mike, and he's like, hey, Mike, can I show you something? Mike's like, yeah, whatever. Johnny opens up his laptop and opens up this file for the roughest, like, bare demo version of the Thriller that he first started on. And Mike was like, what is, how come you guys didn't just record this? You have to record this. You guys have to come back to the studio right now and record this. It is so good. We have to record it. So Johnny's like, hold on a second. He called our manager, Dino, and told Dino, and Dino's like, no, nobody does Michael. You can't do Michael. No. And Johnny's like, yeah, but check it out. And Dino's like, holy shit, it's good. So we had worked with John Moyer from Disturbed, a bass player, as our producer on that album. And the most recent one, Misguided. We had worked with John as producer. So he was here. He was here through pre-production and recording and all that. He was gone. He'd flown back home to Austin, Texas, and Dino got John Moyer on the phone. He's like, hey, John, I just wanted to run something by you. Johnny's in the studio working on some stuff with Mike, and we wanted to see, your thoughts and on this. And they're talking about adding a Thriller remake to and John's like the same thing. He's like, no, but you can't do Michael. And Dino's like, I thought the same thing, but you have to check it out. So Johnny emails the file over to John, and John's like, do it. Get back in the studio right now and do it. So Johnny calls us on. He's like, guys, that Thriller joke thing, he's like, Mike loves it. Dino loves it. John loves it. He's like, we got to go to this. And like me and George and Marcus, and like we never played any of it. You know what I mean? Like Johnny started putting it together, and then he's like, you know, hey, so they all love it. They want us to come record it right now. And I think it was Marcus had just switched jobs, and he didn't have like he does like IT, like computer stuff, and they didn't have like his whole setup ready for him or something. So he's like, actually, I got an extra day or two before I have to start my new job, so I can come back and do it like right now. And me and George, I forget what it was. It was like, well, I can actually make it too. So we go back to the studio, and we finished like writing it and putting it together and learning it and tracking it all at the same time. And that's that. We released it was it on Halloween?
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was on Halloween Day or the Halloween Eve or something. We released it. So the idea was so that people could like play it at their Halloween parties and stuff. Yeah, it was wild. It was a trip, like that experience, how quickly it happened. And
for those listening, by the way, I heard the song and I'm glad you did it, because I didn't think it would work when I first saw Neverwake does Thriller. But then I heard it and I'm like, this isn't Michael. This is a completely different song.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And if I think Neverwake and a Michael Jackson cover, I would have thought Beat It.
Yeah, I mean, that's another good Michael song that is, you know, more of a rock song, really, than the King of Pop.
Well, Eddie Van Halen played on that track.
So good.
Did you hear the remake with Slash? For the 20th anniversary of Thriller, they re-released it, but they had Slash playing Beat It.
I'm not sure if I heard that one.
And it's actually
I always thought, even though I'm not a big fan of either of them by themselves, not like to throw hate at them or anything, but the remake that Fall Out Boy did, and then John Mayer played the solo on, that was a really kick-ass Beat It too.
Speaking of John Mayer, did you see John Mayer is now playing for Grateful Dead?
No.
Yeah, they're called Dead and Company. John Mayer has replaced Jerry Garcia for like a Grateful Dead kind of reunion with these surviving members. And even if you're not a fan, he does a great job.
Well, like completely as unbiased as I can. I haven't listened to a lot of John Mayer's material because like the songs that have been big radio songs, like his big hits, I'm just not a big fan of the music. But I know as a guitar player, he's a kick-ass guitar player. Like he shreds. He's a great player.
There's a lot of people that are amazing guitar players that you wouldn't expect to be amazing.
Yeah.
That's like, I talk to a lot of people and I do bring him up a lot, but Frank Zappa, he was known for weird ass music, but he was also an amazing guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
Like Steve Vai couldn't make the cut in his band. Granted, he was 18 years old at the time, but like great guitarists just couldn't make it in his band, which is weird.
Or did you ever hear about, and I could imagine like what could have been had this have happened to me, but like, I mean, Megadeth as is and as they have been wonderful. I love Megadeth. So, but I don't remember what time frame it was supposed to be, but where Dave Mustaine had supposedly talked to Dimebag about joining Megadeth as lead guitar player, but Dimebag's like, yeah, cool. So my brother Vinny is going to come and play drums, but Dave is like, we already have a drummer. Sorry. So Dimebag's like, well, sorry.
I believe that was like in the 90s, maybe.
I couldn't imagine what kind of material Dave and Dimebag could have wrote together. That would have just been
fucking crazy. Well, did you know that Kerry King was also in Megadeth?
I don't think I knew that.
In the early days, he only did like 2 gigs with them and then he quit because he just couldn't handle Dave, which is a reoccurring theme in that band in the early days.
Yeah.
What do you think of Dave Ellefson being fired from Megadeth and them changing the bass riffs and shit on the new album?
it sucks. I mean, people make mistakes. People screw up. And I mean, do any of us know the full truth of that whole situation? I don't know. Like, according to Dave Ellison, you know, she never was underage, and she wasn't being groomed or whatever, and she even admits that. So like it.
At this point, he was fired from the band for cheating on his wife.
That's what I was gonna get to. Like, not to downplay that as an issue, like, because that's not cool, but that is this man's personal life. Like, yes, that's a screw up. He shouldn't have done it, but like, who has the right to fire somebody from the band for something in his marriage that has no effect on the band, except, you know, all the big, you know, blow up of the negative media coverage. I mean, but at that point, it's already too late. What is it? You know, it's already out. So it sucks. It's hard to say, you know, like, how to.
I don't think I could be famous in that regard, because like your personal life is out there at all times.
Yeah.
And like Ellison's like, I fucked up, but like, is cheating on your wife really something to get fired from Megadeth for?
I mean, should that ruin, you know, I don't want to say ruin, because I doubt it's not going to ruin his career, but like, should something like that ruin somebody's career, like their music career, just because of, you know, I should have this screwed up forever now because of that, and that sucks. But
yeah, like, accidents happen. We're all humans. We all make mistakes.
But I don't blame Dave for wanting to, like, we don't want all that BS with around Megadeth, but I don't know. I don't feel like he should have just bailed on the guy.
I think there's more to it than just that. You just needed a reason.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That being said, though, James Lomenzo is a beast, and he's a badass. And I mean, it's, you know, cool to see him back with Megadeth again.
He replaced Ellison the first time. And now he's back.
I love his work on, I don't know how much of a Zakk Wylde fan you may or may not be, but the record that Zakk did called Pride and Glory, are you familiar with that?
That was his project before Black Label, wasn't it?
Yeah, right between Ozzy and Black Label.
I think I heard a few.
Three-piece. It was just Zakk and James Lomenzo and Brian Tichy on drums. My God. Oh, so good.
Have you heard Ozzy's new song?
Patient Number 9. Yes, I have.
Thoughts on that?
I like it. I hope it grows on me a little bit more. And I'm not in love with it yet, but I like it. I like it more than the last stuff with Andrew Watt, and I didn't care for a lot of that record very much. I don't have anything against Andrew Watt's playing. He's a fine player. It just didn't seem right. I don't know. It
wasn't an Ozzy album.
Not to me. I mean, I didn't really think so. But I like Patient Number 9.
Is Andrew Watt also on this album?
No.
Okay, I thought he was producing it.
No, I don't know if he's producing. He may be, but as a player, he's not supposed to be.
I know Zakk Wylde is on a couple songs, and so is Tony Iommi.
Well, there's a lot of guests. From what I know, what I think I read, are supposed to be like Zakk did, if not all, most or a lot of the rhythm tracks, and then there was a lot of guest guitar players, like, you know, and Zakk did a couple of solos too. But from what I gathered, unless I'm wrong, I might be. You know, I'm nobody. I don't know shit. There's a bunch of guest guitar players doing solos. Yeah, there's Jeff Beck is on Patient Number 9,
which is great. I thought it was great.
Yeah, Beck, Clapton is supposed to be on it. I think Slash is supposed to be on it, which isn't a surprise. Ozzy and Slash have played together before. There's a bunch of people supposed to be on it.
From what I heard, Zach though doesn't have any lead guitar riffs. It's just all rhythm.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think I know why that is, because the reason why he was fired in the first place is because they were starting to sound too much like Black Label.
That's the public explanation.
That's what Sharon claims. They also claim he's too big of an alcoholic too, but
yeah, but Zach Wilde has been sober for years.
Well, you know what's funny is Zach even joked about it at his own roast. He's like, it's messed up when you get fired from Ozzy Osbourne for being an alcoholic.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Zach. How many years ago was that? It's been a long time now that Zach has been clean and sober. And like he got fired. He got fired during Black Rain. What's that?
He got fired during Black Rain though, which was like 15 years ago. But continue what you're saying. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No. He'd been sober for a long time because of he had an issue or whatever with blood clots, and they had told him you need to stop drinking now. Mm-hmm. So he did, and as far as I know, he hasn't drank since.
What's weird is Zach said in an interview that for the longest time the alcohol was what was keeping him alive because it's a natural blood thinner.
Yeah. Yeah, but the reason, when they parted ways after Black Rain is that, Ozzy was starting to sound too much like Black Label or whatever. And there was a little bit of a BLS undertone on Black Rain, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know if I completely believe that that's all of it. I think money was probably some of it. Zach's a pretty big name himself now, so everybody knows how much Sharon is all about money. Who knows if it wasn't like we're gonna save some money and hire a guy with not as big of a name.
What do you think of Gus G era Ozzy?
I honestly. Actually, as long as it's been now, I need to give that record another spin here soon, because back then, and it's not Gus's fault. Gus G is an amazing guitar player, and I don't take anything away from that at all. But I'm such a big, dumb, diehard Zach Wilde fan that when that split happened, I was like,
nope.
Piss on this Ozzy record. I'm not listening to it. I was mad. It's dumb. But I was mad, and I didn't want to hear it. I was like, no. But I know it was good. I know. Was it Scream?
Mm-hmm. That's the only album.
That's the album. Wasn't the single, the first single, Scream too? Or...
Yeah, let me hear you scream. Yeah, that one.
It was good. I need to listen to it again though, and just listen to it with an open mind now, and not be like, it's not Zach Wilde, so piss on it. No.
I get that way too, so I understand. There's times where I'm like, piss on it. This ain't. I was that way when Heaven and Hell was a thing, and then I finally gave him a chance, and I'm like, oh, okay. Which I still don't think that should have been named Black Sabbath, though.
Okay, so I love Sabbath. Let's talk about that for a second. Favorite era of Sabbath, Ozzy or Dio?
Or Tony Martin.
Well, yeah, there were several other singers. Yeah.
I would go with Black Sabbath as a band. I pick Ozzy, but the Dio stuff, the Tony Martin stuff are amazing, but I don't think it should have been under the name Black Sabbath because it's completely different.
We are pretty much right on in agreement there. I agree. Dio, Tony Martin, they great singers. The material was still good, but to me, musically, I have to go back to Ozzy and Black Sabbath, because like that whole first era of Sabbath, that was such a, not just a genre defining sound, but like it created, Sabbath created what we know now to be metal. And it's just that whole era, you know, of Ozzy Sabbath, it was just the sound was different.
Depending on your
What's
opinion, though, that first few studio albums, depending on your opinion, Sabbath created or made bigger doom metal, thrash metal.
Oh yeah, like stoner, you know, whatever. It all comes from that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the first thrash metal song is an argument because there's two songs that were released around the same time. The other one you might not be able to guess. Do you want to guess what band is arguably the first thrash metal song? They're not a thrash band, but they wrote a song that could.
I'm not sure if I know this. Anyways, tell me.
Stone Cold Crazy by Queen.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Metallica covers it.
That was a hard ass song for Queen. That's a great song.
It came out, I think, a couple years before. What Black Sabbath song was it that was thrash? I forget which one they considered thrash, but they came around the same time.
One of my all-time favorite Sabbath songs and riffs, like that, to me, you know, I feel holds up as just as heavy as ever. Is Children of the Grave. That main riff from Children of the Grave is so damn heavy, and I love it. Ooh.
Well, if you listen to like really early Sabbath, a lot of their songs hit hard, but there wasn't a whole lot of notes.
Oh yeah.
Like Black Sabbath, for instance.
That's it.
Bow, bow. It was only 3 notes.
Yep.
And like it hit fucking hard.
Yep.
Which is why I don't consider, no offense to Sabbath, it was a great era, but I don't consider the Dio Tony Martin stuff Sabbath because they were more of like a power metal style.
Yeah, the sound, you know, musically the sound changed drastically, and why I don't have anything against that later stuff. It's good. I just a week or so, a month ago, whatever, at work, I'm a machinist, and I'm able to like have my little JBL speaker, and I just have music playing all day while I'm machining parts. I listened to the entire Sabbath catalog at work the other day, and I was like, man, it's been a long time since I listened to any of the post Ozzy stuff, and it's all is really good. Mm-hmm. But it's just a preference, the style and sound wise. I just prefer the Ozzy era.
What's your thoughts on Born Again?
I like it.
It's a very interesting album. It was the only one recorded with Ian of Deep Purple. I loved that album, but according to Tony Iommi, that was a decision made while they were intoxicated. He said that he said afterwards he kind of regretted hiring Ian, but it worked. Do you know who almost joined Sabbath around that time? Michael Bolton.
Oh, Jesus. How about Tony going off and filling in for Jethro Tull before Black Sabbath got big?
Yeah, he almost gave up on Sabbath. Isn't that crazy?
He went and did a couple of gigs and was like, no.
He even did one for a TV show, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, no, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
The whole Sabbath story is crazy because they almost didn't happen several times.
You know what? I've had this book for years, and I still haven't finished it because I'm just not big into reading. Sorry. I have the Ozzy biography, I Am Ozzy, and
me too.
I need to finish it someday. But it is so nuts when they're Ozzy's talking about how you like back in the the days when they're writing for Sabbath. I forget what era, what records they were working on, but he's talking about how they would just do pounds of coke until they felt like they were going to explode. Then they would smoke all the weed they could to bring their hearts back down. Then when they came back down, they'd start all over and do blow until they felt like they were going to explode. It's just like this cycle. And it's like,
how Ozzy survived,
or any of them. I mean, he was the worst, obviously, but
because Ozzy had an AIDS scare in the 80s. I don't know if you knew about that or not. He was sleeping with a bunch of groupies and shit, and he was like had night sweats and fevers and shit, and he thought he got AIDS. I believe that's in his book.
Poor old Ozzy. You can't say poor old Ozzy. That dude, That dude has lived a full ass life.
He's enjoyed he's almost lived as crazy of a life that Lemmy did.
Well, hell, even just a couple of years ago, not that it's like to make a joke out of it or that it's okay, because he's been married to Sharon for however many years now, but there's old Ozzy still out boning the hairdresser.
I'm surprised
just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I was like, Ozzy can still get it up. And then he turned around. He's like, I have a sex addiction. I'm like, okay, you covered all addictions. You got them all.
Yeah. Yeah, Ozzy has had everything.
Like, god damn, dude. I love that man. Dude, you should come on the show more often. Just talk music.
I like the story when I was years and years ago. I think it was during I think it goes back to like the Osbournes days when they had been over at their one home over in England. The one that's like they have like a castle over there or something. But they were over there, and Ozzy wrecked a 4-wheeler, and he was in the hospital for a while. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I remember Zach Wilde talking about how he went into the hospital to visit Ozzy, and when he got there, he was just like, they screwed up. What are they doing? They let Ozzy have the dripper for morphine, so he's just whacking himself out on morphine, and he's like, you got to take this away from him.
Well, he recently re-injured his neck. He had to have surgery recently for it.
Yeah.
But funny story, and then we got to probably call this quits because I got to get ready for work and stuff.
Yeah.
But Ozzy went to the dentist on one of the episodes of the Osbournes. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but
I'm sure I did. I watched all that stuff. It's just been so long. Yeah, I don't.
They put that thing on his face, that whatever it was to knock him out. Might have been morphine. I'm not sure, but they had that on his face, and they had it up full blast. And he's like, I don't feel shit. This isn't working. And he was complaining the whole time. And the doctor's like, I feel it. And he went to leave the room, and Ozzy finally got knocked out. And he came back too, trying to buy it off of the doctor. He's like, well, can I get some morphine?
Yeah.
But we should do this again soon because I do enjoy talking to you.
Yeah.
But you can find Justin at justin.s_NW on all platforms except for Facebook. On Facebook, you just look up Justin Sanford Music. You can follow him on there. And also, Neverwake is on all platforms as well. You can just type in Neverwake.
Neverwake. We're lucky enough to be able to keep it easy, and it's the same across all the platforms. It's Neverwake Music. That'll find us everywhere.
Somehow you came up with a name that hasn't been taken. It's hard nowadays.
Oh, dude, it's so hard.
I was talking to a band.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bud.
Did you call me a goathead?
Goathead, yes.
Goathead? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I went to Missouri recently to a place that you might enjoy before we wrap this up. In Missouri, about an hour from Springfield, there's a nice little town called Uranus. And they sell fudge. Yes, there is a fudge factory in Uranus. They even have a putt-putt team called the Putt Pirates. Oh, would you like to go to Uranus with me sometime?
I love it.
By the way, did I show you the shirts that I had made?
Yeah, you sent me a message with the rendering or whatever, the picture, yeah.
I plan on sending those soon. It's just funds are kind of tight right now. So keep an eye out for that. But we should do this again sometime very soon. We could just bullshit about music with the other people that's usually part of this. Yeah. Is there anything you want to promote before we go? Any shows coming up?
Well, I mean, I talked about as much as I can, Neverwake wise. We're working on new music. I don't exactly have a timeline of when you'll be hearing it yet, but a little bit later on this year. We have right now let me pull this up. I have it right here. We have one show confirmed for October. We are going to be playing on Saturday, October 15th at the Wheeling Island Hotel and Casino down in Wheeling, West Virginia, and that is for the Resurrection Island Tattoo Convention. So we are headlining that night, the Saturday night. which that's gonna be badass. We're in the. I never been to the Wheeling Casino, but I guess like the main venue room is a pretty good sized room. And there's gonna be tattoo artists all still set up in there, and actually like gonna still be tattooing like during the show. Like I don't think I could do that if I was a tattoo artist. Like I'd be too much into the metal. I'd be screwing somebody's tattoo up real bad. But
so where can we get tickets for this?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me see here. Resurrection Island Tattoo Convention. Let me see. Let me see here. Which is, I don't want to be wrong in this, but I believe it's solely put on and like organized by, by the fine folks of Breaking Skin Tattoo in Bridgeport, Ohio. Let me see where. I don't know if you'd be able to just like pay at the door. I'm sure you can get tickets. Let me see.
They have a website that I just found, resurrectionislandtattoo.com. It says that tickets will be sold at the door and cash only.
There you go. There you have it. There you have it. Yep.
I might have to take that day off and come out and see you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. I think there's supposed to be a couple other bands playing with us that night. I don't know who yet, but it's gonna be awesome.
But it was awesome talking to you, Justin. Guys, go check out Neverwake. They're on all streaming platforms. They're amazing. They're a kick-ass band. It was nice talking to you about horror and about music. Thank you for taking your time out of your day.
Likewise.
But go if you want to go to the Resurrection Island Tattoo Convention. They have their own website, which is resurrectionislandtattoo.com. And as always, guys, remember, live long,